Mel everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat, here to talk a little bit about what I'm seeing here, which could be a confluence of a number of things that's happening on the monthly. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you I'm a macroeconomic professor by any means. I'm just a cat who's trying to look at patterns and trying to look at pretty pictures and show them to you. What I'm seeing here is the monthly chart of the 2-year yield. I'm going to show you the 10-year yield and also US dollar here a little bit. It looks like we're at a conjunction where there's a lot of weakness that's being shown here, and there's a little bit of around the top right here, just like we had on the last cycle when yields went up like crazy. And if you look at the RSI, I've been saying for a very long time that this move up right here is accompanied by a bearish divergence, and I think the trend is being exhausted. Matter of fact, I actually think that I'm not even sure it's going to hit the upper channel over here, because it just looks like it's about to roll over. One thing I could show you as to why I think it's going to roll over, there are two indicators on the month that I can show you. One is the Bollinger Band, which basically tells you that the 20-month moving average right here is really starting to kind of turn here like I did over here. And the Bollinger Band is squeezing. It tells you the big move is about to come. Since the monthly moving average is looking like it's going to change the direction, there's a possibility it's going to change the direction over here too. And the direction could be down. It's really squeezing hard right now. And the price just for the 2 yields, just percentage-wise, just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. It's trying to hold on to it. It's trying to hold on to it like a lion is about to crash over and die, but it's just giving its final roars. As I posted it on the on Twitter, I had a whole thread about that. But it looks like it's here. It could make some pretty crazy moves up, as it bounces up like that. But overall trend is down, and I'm not really that optimistic about the yields moving forward, which could be good for equities, could be good for cryptocurrencies if yields are rolling down, but global liquidity is still going up. If you look at the Ichimoku cloud, this actually gives you a more clear picture. The Tenkan line, which is the red line right here, instead of serving as support like it did before, is now serving as resistance. Price is broken down underneath of it, is back tested it, so far is failing to break back above. This is pretty bad weakness that we're seeing here in 2-year yield. We're seeing a very, very similar picture on the 10-year yield on the Ichimoku cloud, where it's just failed to kind of really do a back test right here. Broke down, back test. Initially, the first time it did that, passed and went back up. Also a little bit exhausted here, because you also see a very similar thing here where there is exhaustion. There's a bearish divergence here as the yield goes up in 10-year. There's a little bit of bearish divergence over here too. So there's already signs of exhaustion of the trend. Now you falling underneath the Tenkan, doing a back test here. I really think the next is going to be here, and the next after that is going to be here. There does tend to be a sign for a trend change here. If you look at the Bollinger Band, you're also seeing a very, very similar pattern, where you're seeing that the 20-month moving average is starting to kind of change direction here a little bit. It's starting to decelerate on this uptrend, and it's just making its final moves, trying to, really trying to push above, using this as a support level, but the support level is getting weaker and weaker as we speak because the trend is exhausting. Now, as a result, if you look at the US dollar, it's making this descending triangle look here, which has a risk of just falling over, especially if there's a Bollinger Band down here. There's a potential for it to hit the lower Bollinger Band below $100 when it breaks through here. The 20-month moving average is really starting to curl over, and it broke down and is trying to back test, and it failed. You're starting to see a pattern here, and this is a pretty good sign that we might have risk on potentially coming. And this coincides with the fact that S&P 500 has been just going parabolic. This is a very, very strong bull trend. Bollinger Band is expanding. I think it's going to keep going over the months to come. The Nasdaq is also doing a very similar thing. It's just kind of riding along the upper Bollinger Band. It's not over the upper Bollinger Band like it was over here, but it's just riding along the upper Bollinger Band. So I think it could potentially continue to expand, allowing it to go up even higher. The one thing that is also very important is, as something that's more rate sensitive is happening, such as the IWM, which are the Russell 2000 small cap, you're going to see that you also have a very, very similar look here where the Bollinger Band is starting to get expansion right here, and the 20-month moving average is also starting to crawl up. And you're looking at price could potentially ride up the upper Bollinger Band, and you can potentially just keep pushing price up higher over time over the next, really 6 to 12 months. We'll see what happens. The same thing is actually also happening at the ARK fund by Cathie Wood. You can see that the 20-month moving average is also pointing up, and you also have Bollinger Band expansion. Price is basically kind of broken above all these resistance level right here. It's kind of trying to do a little bit of a back test of these different levels. But the Bollinger Band is expanding. It's just made a higher high. So maybe it's trying to find a higher low right here before going up further. But so far, everything is starting to kind of line up pretty well. And because of that, in addition to, Bitcoin really is getting ahead of the trend here, is becoming very, very bullish, is getting way outside of the Bollinger Band here, but it can continue to do that for months at a time, as you can see in previous bull market. The trend is your friend. You don't want to bet against the trend. There might be a potential brutal back test of some of these breakout levels down here, but I'm not going to be cute about it. I bought Bitcoin really down here, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to let it do its thing. I'm not going to bet against a bull trend here. But so far, the yields, the US dollar, the indexes, including the small caps, everything starts to be pointed the right way, and all of these just look like it's just the beginning of the trend that can go on for months and months and months. There could be some pretty brutal correction along the way. Some of them can even happen within a day, but I wouldn't bet against it. Thank you for listening. Have a good one. Bye.